Russia, a land of rich cultural heritage, has produced some of the world's most influential musicians and bands. Yet, beneath the surface of this vibrant music scene lies a history of censorship and blacklisting. For decades, Russian musicians have faced scrutiny and suppression for daring to speak out against a status quo, challenging societal norms and critiquing the government. In the Soviet era, artists like Viktor Tsoi and his band Kino used their music to express dissent and critique the oppressive regime. Their songs resonated with a generation hungry for change, but they faced censorship and restrictions in their music. During the turbulent transition from the Soviet Union to the Russian Federation, bands like Akvarium and Nautilus Pompilius continued to challenge the authorities with their politically charged lyrics and social commentary. Fast forward to the present day, and tradition of music and blacklisting in Russia continues. Bands like Ice.3peak have faced censorship and persecution from their outspoken activism and provocative performances. Despite the challenges and obstacles, the spirit of rebellion and resilience in Russia's music scene continues to thrive. As long as there are artists willing to speak the truth to power, the sound of silence will never prevail. Ice.3peak, a Russian electronic music duo known for their provocative lyrics and music videos, has faced censorship and blacklisting in Russia due to their outspoken criticism of the government and the support for various social and political causes. Some of the reasons they may have been blacklisted for will include things such as political criticism, social activism, provocative imagery, and independent stances. Ice.3peak's lyrics often contain overt political criticism addressing issues such as the government corruption, censorship, and human rights abuses. Their outspokenness against Russia's government policies and actions could lead to them being a target for censorship. The duo actively supports various social causes, including the LGBTQ+ rights, feminism, freedom of expression, and more. Their advocacy for the marginalized groups and controversial topics could make them targets for censorship in a country where such issues are sensitive and actively suppressed. Ice.3peak's music videos frequently feature provocative and disturbing imagery, challenging societal norms and expectations. Such content may be deemed as inappropriate or subversive by Russian authorities, leading to the censorship or blacklisting. As independent artists who refuse to compromise their artistic integrity or self-censor, Ice.3peak may pose a threat to the government's control over the cultural sphere. Their unwillingness to conform to official narratives or expectations could lead to punitive measures such as blacklisting. Overall, Ice.3peak's blacklisting likely stems from the defiance of societal and political norms in Russia, as well as their willingness to speak out against the injustice and repression. A contrast to this group would be t.A.T.u from the early 2000s. Now, t.A.T.u did not have a specific political agenda per se. They were primarily a pop music duo focused on producing and performing songs that often featured provocative themes and imagery, including same-sex relationships. While their music and imagery may have challenged social norms and sparked discussions about the LGBTQ+ rights and representation in Russia and beyond, it's important to note that t.A.T.u's primary goal was likely commercial success rather than political activism. In terms of how they changed Russia, t.A.T.u played a role in shaping the perceptions of Russian culture internationally. They achieved a significant amount of success in the early 2000s, becoming one of the most recognizable Russian musical acts globally. Their music videos, performances, and public personas helped introduce Russian pop music to audiences around the world. Additionally, t.A.T.u's controversial image and themes pushed the boundaries and sparked conversations about sexuality and identity in Russian society. While they may not have directly influenced policy or societal change, their presence in the music industry contributed to broader discussions about cultural representation and social norms in Russia. Now, the Kremlin, as a seat of the Russian government, did not issue any formal statements specifically addressing t.A.T.u. However, it's likely the various officials and politicians had differing opinions on the duo and their controversial image. Given Russia's conservative and social political climate at the time, it's possible that some officials may view t.A.T.u's portrayal of lesbianism as a negative light, particularly if they saw it as contradicting traditional values or promoting Western cultural influences. On the other hand, t.A.T.u's international success could have been viewed positively by some as a demonstration of Russians' cultural exports and soft power, despite the controversy surrounding their image. Overall, the Kremlin's stance on t.A.T.u would likely have been nuanced and varied among different officials and decision makers, and there may not have been a unified perspective of the duo. t.A.T.u initially faced mixed reactions, while they garnered significant attention and support for their music, particularly among the younger audiences. Their controversial image and themes also sparked backlash from the conservative groups and some members of the Russian Orthodox Church. Some conservative politicians and religious leaders condemned t.A.T.u for promoting homosexuality, which was and still is a sensitive topic in Russian society. However, despite the criticism, t.A.T.u managed to achieve this considerable success in Russia and gain support from the many fans. Over time, t.A.T.u's popularity grew internationally. They received more recognition and support within Russia, although the controversies still continued to follow them throughout their careers. Despite their diverse reception in some circles, t.A.T.u remains one of the most internationally successful musical acts from Russia. With all that being said, the Russian music scene is a very interesting place to watch. So what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear you guys tell me about how you found this video. Did you enjoy the different kind of style? And did you find this topic very interesting? Because I have always been a fan of Russian music ever since I was a teenager. So without further ado, I bid you farewell for the night.